friends. It is now Saturday, December 18th, and I am officially out of school for Christmas break. And it's a lovely feeling. I have a lot going on today. I finally found a roommate, so she's going to be moving in this weekend. So last night I came home from work and gave my apartment a good cleaning so that it was ready for her to come in and move her stuff in. And I am also going to be leaving to visit my family and my sister and my 8-year-old niece. I think she just turned, no, 7 or 8? I can't remember. Sorry, Lyra. And I get to go see them for about a week over Christmas time, so very excited about that. This is going to be my Christmas holiday vlog for the end of December. I did not do very much vlogging last week. It was crazy with the last week of school. Wonderful, but crazy. We had Spirit Week, so every day we would come dressed up as a different Christmas theme, but yes. I have a big pile of things over here in this corner that need to be taken to my classroom that were previously in my second bedroom that I am now making space for my second roommate. Well, my roommate. And I also have a lot of just general organizing and cleaning and things to do, which is one of my favorite things to do, honestly, now that I'm feeling better. Sorry, I'm trying to get an angle where my glasses aren't glary. Now that I'm feeling better, I've been to the chiropractor like 3 times this week. My knee isn't hurting anymore. I have energy and I'm ready to get tidied and cleaned and prepared for an amazing week. I've moved into my bedroom so that I can talk about the books that I've been reading. I did read a couple of books the last week. The first one that I read was Snow and Rose, and it was really, really cute. It was a retelling of a classic fairy tale, and essentially it is the story of 2 sisters, Snow and Rose, whose father disappears in the forest, and it's assumed that he's been taken or killed by the monsters in the woods. And so years have passed, and one of them has given up hope, the other hasn't, and they are just kind of living their lives in this middle of nowhere cabin in this wood in the middle of the forest. And they encounter some magical creatures, and they solve the mystery of what happened to their father. So it is very cute. It's very wintry and atmospheric. I gave this book about a 3 stars. I thought it was really, really cute. Wonderful for this time of year, the Christmas season. I don't think I will remember much of it. I've already started to forget it. Part of it was that I listened to it on audiobook and I was kind of distracted while I was listening to it, so it might not be quite a fair rating. I would say between 3 and 4 stars as far as the quality of the book, but really cute, great for storytelling, great for reading aloud during the holidays if you have little ones. So I would absolutely recommend reading this story. I also spent a ton of time listening to Robin Hobb's Assassin's Quest, which is the 3rd book in that first trilogy called the Farseer trilogy, and it's a 36-hour audiobook. I managed to get through 90% of it before it got sent back to my library again. They just don't give me enough time to finish that huge of a story. So even on listening to it on double speed, so I was having the time that it takes to read it, I still wasn't able to get it done before I had to send it back. So I have 10% left. I put in another loan request from the library. Hopefully it'll get here soon, hopefully before the end of the year, because I can't stop thinking about it. I love it. It's my favorite book of the series so far. I love how it's diving into Fitz's special magic. I talked about it in a couple vlogs previously, but he has the ability to communicate with animals, essentially, and it's a magic that's called the wit, and so we're learning more about that. We're also going deeper into his other kind of magic, which is called the skill. And in this story, they're on this voyage into the far north to try and find the true king of the 7 duchies. 6 duchies? I think I keep getting these 2 mixed up because I keep thinking like the 7 kingdoms from Game of Thrones, but it's the 6 duchies. all these epic fantasies. But essentially they're trying to find the rightful king and see what is going on with his quest to find the elderlings, who I believe are dragons in this world, but we don't really know very much about them yet. So it has an epic quest. It has lots of interesting characters. It has it has communication with animals. It has intrigue and betrayal and heartbreak and beautifulness, and I love it so much and I want to finish it. It's driving me crazy. So I'm almost done with that, but I have not been able to finish it yet. I have also been working my way through Rebecca. This is the only physical book that I'm reading at the moment, and I would like to finish it before I go to my parents' house, probably on Wednesday or Thursday, because I would like to bring my specifically Christmas books to read over my Christmas holiday. So I am just about halfway through this book, chapter 16, page 218. So I have just about 250 pages left. I'd really, really like to get this busted out so that I can start fresh this next week when I head to my family's house and spend Christmas break there. So my hopes for my reading for when I go visit them is I would like to finish The Hat Makers. I might actually read that to my niece while I'm there, depending on how much she wants to sit and listen. I also want to bring Hilda and the Hidden People with me because I loved it so much and I think she would like it too. And she is a reader. She loves to read just about as much as I do. She takes after my own heart. So I'm hoping that she'll sit and read with me for a while I'm there. And I think she would love that book. And then we'll see about The Hat Makers. But that's my goal for wanting to read that. That's a recommendation from Gavin at How to Train Your Gavin. He's a really famous middle grade booktuber. And I trust his judgment in pretty much anything. So it's one of his absolute favorites. It's something that's been on my TBR for quite a while. So I'm going to be reading that. I got that on my Kindle. And then I also want to bring Ghosts of Green Glass House, which is currently in the other room. But I'll put the picture up here. It is the sequel to Green Glass House, and I really loved that. I read it in November, I believe, and it is very Christmassy, wintry themed, and I gave the first one 5 stars, so I have high hopes for this next one. So those are the 2 priorities for the week. I'm going to bring most of my TBR with me just in case I have lots of downtime to read. I probably won't read as much as I want to because when you're with family, you don't want to just be stuck in your book reading and not interacting with them. But yeah, that is my plan. Right now I'm going to put on some music, finish organizing my bedroom. As you can see, it's still a bit of a mess. I have some stuff here. My bookshelves are all disorganized and need to be reorganized. So that's my plan for today. Get my roommate situation figured out. And then hopefully, and then this evening I'm going to go Christmas light watching again with my cousin and drive around with hot cocoa and bundle up in blankets and just look at all of the Christmas lights and spend the night with her. So I'm not sure how much reading I'll get done today, and hopefully I'll get some more done tomorrow. But yeah, it's gonna be a busy couple of days until I go up to see my family. So that is the introduction to this vlog. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful holiday season, and I will check in with you soon.
Child, I know you're hurt and you can't let go. It's not your fault and you don't deserve all the bad and the hurt. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. your life you've tried to be a good man inside. Did everything that you thought you should. Didn't seem to do you any good. I know you've tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life? But don't give up. Just hold on tight. It'll be alright. I know you tried so hard. I know you've done your part. It's not fair. You did your time. How much longer will you suffer in this life?
Hello friends, it is now Monday afternoon and today has been wonderful. I received a gift certificate to a local spa and I took advantage of that this morning and had face waxing and a foot exfoliation therapy. It was really nice. And it snowed this morning. We had a lovely snowfall and it just felt so Christmassy, and it was my first real day off of work today, so I'm really feeling the holiday spirit today. My new roommate just moved in this weekend as well, and so we are getting to know each other and I really enjoy her. She is 70 years old and it's like living with a grandma who wants to cook for you and encourage you to do well and talk about books. And we have so much in common. She's a librarian as well, and so I got very lucky with her. So excited to get to know her better. We're going to be celebrating winter solstice together tomorrow by crafting and reading out loud to each other and ignoring the fact that clocks exist. It's going to be absolutely delightful. So tomorrow I will hopefully be doing a little bit of vlogging of that, but mostly we'll be away from technology and just enjoying the company of my new human in my little apartment and getting settled in. It's been lovely. As far as reading goes, I did finish The Hatmakers. I sat yesterday and read it in one sitting. I absolutely loved it. It is the story of a young girl named Cordelia who is part of the Hatmaker family, and the Hatmakers create hats that imbue the people who wear them with special qualities. So if you're looking for a hat that will make you brave, they have items that are magical that will combine together on your hat to make you brave or kind or serious or studious or whatever it is that you need in that moment. They will make a hat for it. And their family is commissioned by the princess to create a peace hat. And in this society, there are hat makers and glove makers and cloak makers and watchmakers and boot makers, and they all are in charge of these separate articles of clothing, but they have all been asked to create a piece. My cat is eating my string. Stop! To create this peace wardrobe for a talk between France and England so that they can avoid an oncoming war. So it is full of magic, it is full of intrigue. The intrigue level was so high. I was surprised. I was on the edge of my seat the entire time. The characters were lovely, the idea was lovely. I gave it a 5 out of 5 stars. I highly recommend this book. It's so good. And then this morning when I woke up before my spa appointment, I curled up with my most recent read, which is The Ghosts of Green Glass House. I don't know where I put the book, so I'll put it here, but it is the sequel to The Green Glass House, and it follows the same characters. Milo, he's a young boy who lives with his family up in the mountains, and they usually have Christmas vacation off, and it's usually a quiet time. but the last 2 years they have had surprise visitors, and this year is no different. So it is a new adventure, a new mystery, I believe, and I am very much looking forward to diving back into this world and these characters because I gave the first book 5 stars, and I have very high hopes for this one as well. So I will be reading this today. Tomorrow, my roommate and I want to jump into To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini. We were talking about his first series, Aragon, all night last night. It's one of her absolute favorites. I read it as a kid, one of my absolute favorites. Neither of us have read the new book of his. It's chunky. We won't get through it tomorrow, but I am very much looking forward to starting that with her and reading it out loud to each other and just enjoying that experience. So there's going to be a lot of really cozy reading happening the next couple of days, and then I will be heading to Washington to visit my family for Christmas. So quick update for what's been happening, and I will check in with you guys later.
Appalachian sunrise meets my skin. Even with my eyes still closed, I can feel it coming in. Golden, golden, I'll follow only golden, 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 golden things. Mountain laurel high fives for miles in spring. Rainbow trout and a hummingbird wing. Golden, I'll follow only golden, golden, golden things.
friends. It is Christmas Eve afternoon, and I am at my parents' house, and it's been a lovely day. So far, we've been watching Christmas movies, and we're going to make some Christmas cookies for Santa, and I've been just hanging out with my 7-year-old niece, so it's been great. I haven't done much reading. I had to move to a different room because they turned on their movie again and it was too loud. But yeah, I haven't done much reading. I finished reading The Ghosts of Green Glass House, and it was really, really good. Another 5-star read from the author. It's Kate Milford. A story about Milo and his family who live in a hotel in the middle of the mountains, and it's a Christmas time mystery, middle grade, and it's absolutely wonderful if you're looking for something adventurous and mysterious and full of role-playing and ghosts and history. It's so good. So I finished that, but before I left, and then I also started listening to the audiobook of The Afterlife of Holly Chase, which was recommended by Steph at Steph Loves, and I absolutely love it so far. It's a twist on the classic Christmas Carol story, and it's about a woman who, well, she's a teenager, she's 17, and she is visited by the ghosts of Christmas, past, present, and future, and an attempt to get her to change her ways, and she ignores them and then ends up dying. So she is recruited as the ghost of Christmas past and is part of this Operation Scrooge, where every single year another Scrooge is chosen who's nearing the end of his life and has one last opportunity to choose to live a different life and avoid their inevitable early demise. So she is working 5 years at the Scrooge operation as the ghost of Christmas past when they encounter a Scrooge who is very similar to the way she was when she was young, and he's 17 years old, and she decides that more things need to be done to try and help him, and she also just feels very connected to him. So it's her story of falling in love with him and getting things complicated with the whole situation, and it's a love story, Christmas Carol story. And so far it's really good. I am about halfway through, so I will keep you updated on that. I brought all of my books with me, but we'll see how much reading I get done because my little niece is extremely needy. She just wants to spend so much time with me while I'm here because I don't get to see her very much. So I'm spending a lot of time with family and not doing a ton of reading so far, but we'll see how it goes. Merry Christmas Eve. I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas, friends! We have a white Christmas here for the first time I think that I can ever remember actually waking up on Christmas to snow. So it's been magical and lovely. We got up early and opened our presents, and now we are getting ready to make our Christmas dinner and just enjoy the day. Last night I was on duty to make sure that my niece didn't leave her room while we were doing Santa. And I had to listen to an audiobook all night because I didn't have anything else to do. So I listened to The Afterlife of Holly Chase, and it was so good. I gave it 5 stars. It is, I think I mentioned it earlier in this vlog, but it is a retelling of the classic Christmas Carol Scrooge story, and I did not see the ending coming at all. I thought it was absolutely beautiful and well done, and it's probably one that I'll read again every year. I loved it so much, so highly recommend that as a Christmas story. It's lovely, it has romance in it, and a happy ending, and just all the good feels for Christmas, so definitely enjoyed that. I also started reading A Vintage Christmas, which is a collection of stories by lots of classic authors. So last night I listened to 2 stories by Louisa May Alcott, who wrote Little Women, and I really enjoyed them. She's definitely very classic gender stereotypes, and so it wasn't my favorite story to listen to, but it was still very quaint. The next stories that are coming up are by L.M. Montgomery, the author of Anne of Green Gables, and I am so looking forward to that. So hopefully I will listen to that during the day. My niece is playing with her toys, so I'm gonna go, but Merry Christmas!
Oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh, Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Not only green when summer's here, but also when it's cold and drear.
Hello, it is now Wednesday after Christmas, and we have a significant amount of snow here in Washington. It was completely unexpected. Well, it wasn't completely unexpected, but it was definitely something that I didn't plan for, and now I am trying to figure out how I'm going to get back home. So I have been spending the last couple of days trying to get myself a vehicle, because unfortunately the vehicle that I have been using is no longer in commission, and my dad will have to drive me home if I don't get myself a car. So I'm trying my best to do that today. If not, I think my cousin is going to come and pick me up from Washington and take me back down to my home in Oregon. So that's what's been going on here lately. The last couple of days I have been able to do a significant amount of reading. I actually started and finished this beast of a book, A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas, and I am in love with this series. I am so glad that my friend forced me to read them. It was a series that I was unsure about because there was so much hype around it, and it kind of reminded me of the hype around Twilight, and Twilight was not my favorite. But this is absolutely worth reading if you are interested in romantic fantasy. This is an amazing series. I can't tell you enough how much I loved this book. So these are definitely going on my list of top reads for the year of 2021, and I can't really tell you much about this book because it would be full of spoilers. It is the 3rd book in a 3-book series, so take my word for it. Go read it if you haven't, if you enjoy fantasy and love stories. This 3rd story was very epic. It had a lot of war and strife and a lot of coming to understand oneself and understanding the world around you. And something that I talked about a lot last time I read her work, the 2nd book in this series, is Sarah's ability to convey a mental health struggle, struggling with trauma, struggling with anything that is related to mental health or to mental illness, with anxiety and panic attacks and those kinds of things, and her ability to express those things in a way that is full of understanding is something I haven't seen before, actually, in a novel. So Absolutely loved it. Highly recommend. I think I'm actually going to wrap up this vlog. It has been over a week now and I don't feel like I'm going to do a whole lot more reading, and if I do, I'll start a new vlog. But until then, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and like the video and comment below with your favorite snow emoji. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later.